Maria's 52-year-old knees creaked louder than her apartment floorboards, yet dawn found her craving a bold leap, something wilder than mismatched socks, today's, one polka dot, one neon llama. Vancouver's grey drizzle couldn't dampen itch. Last night's shouting match between balcony gardeners had sealed it. She grabbed her grandmother's cherrywood walking stick, carved with stubborn roses, and marched past her door, down to community center bulletin board. By noon, she'd taped up a sign. Maria's walking stick tapped a hesitant rhythm against Vancouver's rain-slick pavement, its chipped cherrywood whispering of Appalachian trails hiked decades ago, back when her knees didn't sound like a popcorn machine midnight. She'd started these neighborhood walks as a desperate ploy to escape Mrs. Kowalski's yapping chihuahua, and maybe her own creeping dread that invisibility came bundled with AARP cards. But fam surprised her. That first wobbly loop around block became a weekly pilgrimage, strangers morphing into allies as sneakers scuffed past community center flyers for Zumba and tax help. Stick, once just a prop for balance, now drew chalk arrows on sidewalks, marking routes where feuds over garbage bins or parking spots unraveled with each shared step. A developer's kid even handed out lemonade to retirees griping about construction noise. Turns out resentment melts faster when you're dodging puddles together. Maria's deepest fear had always been rusting unnoticed, like a bicycle left in Pacific Northwest drizzle. Yet here she was, 52 and accidentally revolutionary, her stick steady talk conducting a symphony of shuffled grievances into something softer. By time someone tied a ribbon around its handle, for visibility, boss lady, she finally stopped counting birthdays and started counting neighbors turned conspirators. Rain or shine, they walked. And block, once fractured, now moved in rhythm, one clumsy step at a time. Maria's walking stick tapped a steady rhythm against Vancouver's rain-slick sidewalks, its chipped paint telling stories of missteps and recoveries. What began as a wobbly attempt to soothe creaky knees had turned into something unexpected, a neighborhood walk club, born from her offhand remark to a barista about noisy upstairs neighbors. By week 3, half a dozen folks showed up, each nursing quiet grievances, hedges trimmed too short, recycling bins left out too long, dog barks echoing midnight. Community center bulletin boards soon boasted flyers with her crooked handwriting, walk and talk, Tuesdays, 9 a.m., bring comfy shoes and gripes. Skeptics came for curiosity, stayed for camaraderie. Maria's stick became a baton, passed between walkers to signal whose turn it was to vent. One morning, a silver-haired man named Raj joined, clutching a thermos of chai. He'd been a mediator back in Mumbai. Between sips, he taught her how to listen, not just to words, but to pauses, to way Mrs. Kowalski's voice cracked when mentioning her son's divorce. Missteps still happened. Maria once tripped over a raised sidewalk slab, sending her stick clattering. Instead of gasps, laughter bubbled up. Raj quipped, even concrete has opinions here. Group helped her up, dusted her off, and kept moving. By summer, sidewalks weren't just paths but peace treaties. A teenager who'd blasted music now DJ'd walks with a portable speaker. Hedge trimmer and hedge defender partnered on a community garden. Maria's stick, once a crutch, became a compass, its scratches proof that forward motion, however unsteady, could mend what words alone couldn't. Fam called it magic. Maria knew better. It was just putting one foot in front of other, together. Maria's walking stick tapped a steady rhythm against Vancouver's rain-slick sidewalks, a metronome for her stubborn resolve. 52 years of life had taught her knees to protest, but not to quit. Her neighborhood walk club, started as a flimsy excuse to escape apartment walls, had become something sharper. A tool. Rumors slithered through community center gossip mill faster than seniors racing for bingo seats. Someone's hedge encroached. Another's dog yapped past midnight. Instead of simmering behind curtains, creator laced up sneakers and dragged folks outside. Walking's cheaper than therapy, fam, she'd joke, though her grip on that stick betrayed how much she needed both. One frosty morning, she caught two neighbors, a tech bro and a retired teacher, glaring over misplaced trash bins. She thrust spare walking sticks into their hands. Complaint departments that way. She pointed toward harbor, marching off before they could refuse. By kilometer 3, shoulders loosened. By 5, they were chuckling over shared gripes about city's brutal parking permits. Doubt gnawed her when turnout dwindled. Maybe folks preferred grudges to gravel paths. But Maria pushed harder, leaving flyers in mailboxes, leaning on her stick like a battle staff. She wasn't just fighting for fresh air, she was proving connection could outpace conflict. Then came miracle. A handwritten note slipped under her door, "Walk today. Didn't hate my neighbor after." Maria's laugh bounced off peeling wallpaper. Victory smelled like damp wool and effort. Rain or rage, she kept stepping. Every strike of her stick against pavement was a quiet rebellion, against isolation, against pettiness, against idea that aging meant fading. Vancouver's streets became her mediation table, one stubborn stride at a time. Maria's 52-year-old knees creaked louder than her apartment floorboards, but that walking stick in her grip wasn't just for balance, it was a scepter of unshakable resolve. Vancouver's misty mornings had seen enough passive-aggressive notes slipped under doors, enough silent scowls over shared laundry rooms. So she slapped a flyer on community center bulletin board, "Neighbor walks, stride out strife." Skeptics scoffed. One guy in 3B muttered about hippie nonsense while lugging his recycling downstairs. Maria just adjusted her neon fanny pack, age demanded flair, and showed up anyway. First walk, 3 people came. Second, 6. By week 3, a dozen folks paced seawall, airing petty grievances between breaths. Maria's stick tapped a rhythm, her bad knee twinging in protest, but she led like a general. Then came her breakthrough, a viral shot of her mid-stride, stick raised like a baton, caption "Vancouver's glue lady men's blocks one step at a time." Suddenly, local news crews trailed their group. Skeptic from 3B gaped as his building's feud over bike storage dissolved mid-walk, his scoff crumbling into a stunned huh. Maria grinned. That walking stick. Now a symbol. Her tiny goof, tripping over a curb, saved by a teen's quick grip, only made fam adore her more. Crowds roared when she announced a citywide stride summit. Knees be damned, this was her start. Maria's 52-year-old knees creaked louder than her apartment floorboards, but that didn't stop her from grabbing her trusty walking stick, now polished smooth from months of pavement pounding, and rallying block for their weekly neighborhood walk club. What started as a solo mission to escape thin walls and simmering neighbor drama had blossomed into something bigger. Sidewalk strides became confession booths, gripes aired between gulps of crisp Vancouver air. A shared rhythm smoothed edges, even that guy who blasted Polka Don now hummed along with group. Community centers buzzed with word of their ragtag crew. Maria, ever reluctant ringleader, guided with a wink and that odd habit of counting sidewalk cracks, "For luck," she'd say. Her stick, once just a crutch, now tapped out beats for impromptu dance breaks mid-walk. Age. Just a number scribbled under badass in her mental ledger. By summer's end, block wasn't just a zip code, it was fam disputes dissolved like sugar in iced tea, and Maria's stick. Planted like a flag in fresh concrete, proof that motion breeds connection. Lace up, step out, your street story starts with 1 foot forward.